Warning, this video is only for 14 and up, and if you're under, please leave this video because I will not be accused of something I don't want to be accused of. Please, if you're under, leave the video. Stories go through the air. You can listen and you cannot. But stories are here to help. Understand what is right and what is wrong. But sometimes stories can do the opposite. There's no right or wrong. You have to form your own opinion. But that is not what you're here for. You're here to listen to this silly little god of this channel. Listens to his mind going on about his stories, about the different worlds where he's traveling to, and where he can make some small different in a timeline. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys will enjoy. Let's begin. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to a new series I will call What If Izumi Was Tioni? Or Tiona. That's my mistake. Tiona, the Amazon girl from danmachi. Now, I will set up some rules so you guys can understand this world. It's like my What If My Hero Academia was in danmachi series, but quite different. Instead of I just pick the characters and put them in My Hero Academia. I took some characters from My Hero Academia and slapped it into danmachi and making a series about that. Now I'm taking some characters from danmachi and slapping them into My Hero Academia. So that's literally what is gonna happen. And I will say this once so you guys can understand. Izumi is Tiona. She's not a reincarnation or anything else. She has the personality and the traits of Tiona, but she is still Izumi, like Izuku. She's smart and she knows how to fight. She will not act as dumb as she did in the original show. Well, she's not dumb, she's just childish. She still had that trait. So some trait from danmachi will still bring over, and some trait from Izuku Midoriya will still be there. So it's a mix between that. And I will also inform that the start will be different. I will take it will still be Tiona as Izumi, because I kind of heard a story on YouTube about a Izumi character that literally fights like Tiona in the first part of the video, but I kind of got bored, so I left it. But I just thought, what if that was just Tiona as Izumi instead? So this is you guys get. So I will probably explain a little bit about past. Tiona, or Izumi, she's actually just called Izumi, and her older sister, like 2 years older sister, I had a name for her. It was Kirin, or the Kirin, the lightning elder god from Monster Hunter. I didn't want to reference Monster Hunters, but I did anyways. So, Izumi and Kirin are siblings. They are Tiona and Tioni, the twin sisters, just in this one, like 2 years apart from each other. So their younger sister and older sister, They have a different paths from Deku from My Hero Academia with his mom. They will have a different. And so, Inko Midoriya is not... She is alive. She is with her husband, but in America and having a family there. So they moved from Japan to America. They are not related to Inko. They're not the daughters of Inko. I will make that clear. Inko has just moved to America with her family. So yeah, their start will be different. And I will say some characters from Danmachi will be here and explained how they are here. But not in the beginning. This is just a setup, so yeah. Is there more? Oh yeah, the picture of Izumi you see in front is the hero costume this Izumi will wear. And also the body type of that Izumi is that, but she looks like Tiona. So the costume and body type in the Izumi picture is how her body looks and costume. I will make that clear. That's why the picture's up, so you guys can understand. But she looks like Tiona with brown hair and her skin tone and her eyes. So you guys can get it. Alright. Yeah, that's mostly it. So, let's begin the beginning part of this story. We start where none of the other My Hero Academia stories start. It's not with a loving mother. It's not with a lovely dad and a mother you have to love. It's not a child at an age 4. We start in a brick room with multiple beds, with different kids around them. Going from younger boys and girls to going into puberty kids in this room. We see a brown-haired girl with golden eyes sitting on the bed, looking around with another one a little bit older than her sitting next to her. This is Izumi and Kiran. 2 sisters, 2 years apart, but still blood-related sisters, loving and caring for each other. But you're probably wondering where they are. Are they in an orphanage or something? No. They are in an arena, a warehouse of the Kali gang. You see, Izumi wasn't in this room. She remembered a time where she was outside with her sisters. Well, with her sister laughing with their mother. But one day, the Kalis came and took them away, killing their mother, leaving them as orphans and disappearing into this arena where they have to fight and fight and fight. Different kids, older kids, younger kids. How many times they have to. They've been here for so long, they almost took up the name they were called, Tiona and Tioni, the sisters, the sister Amazons. You see, Amazons is a new type of, well, person. We have quirks that appears 200 years ago in this timeline, where people where people got it them 200 years ago, the first ever heroes appeared 200 years ago as well. But they were called vigilantes, but in history books, they're called vigilante heroes. But one is particular, one that is well known across the world. Her name forgotten to time, no one knows her true name anymore. But her hero, vigilante name, was the Amazon. A powerful woman that could defeat anyone, except for her husband. And, well, after fighting him, they had kids. Many kids, unknown how many they had. But when her children got their own, they only got daughters. All the line of the Amazon only gained the daughters. So over the years, many women has been born as Amazons, and they have been living around the world, mostly in Egypt or near Greece. Mostly in the European areas, where the Amazons are mostly around there. But they are very new of a bloodline. And Izumi and Kirin, or Tiona and Tiona, is Amazon. They are Amazons. Powerful woman that doesn't actually need a quirk to fight, but if they get one, they'll get more powerful. But it's not great for them. Their strength, they are not under great control. In the arena, they have, like I said, fight other kids until death or mortal injuries. But Izumi, not having the heart to hurt any more kids, stop hurting them so they don't have to be killed. They have done this for 4 years? No, 2 years at this point. It's hard to remember for Izumi. Hard to remember how long they have been here. No days of counting or seeing the daylight. Most kids down here, their skin is mostly paler than others. Izumi didn't see any different with her. Many years, or a few years, no, 1 year, Izumi doesn't know. She know her birthday, she know when she was born, but days, months, probably a year has passed by. Maybe 2, or is it 3? She doesn't know. But her sister, Kiri, maybe she knows, but haven't told her. They've been down here for many months. No, years. Damn it. She keeps forgetting. It's hard to remember. And days goes by every time. Then there are 15 kids, 12, 13. Now they're down to 9. And then 2 days has passed. It's hard to remember. Maybe it's been 3 years at this point. Then she must be 9 now. No, 2 years has passed. She's 8, right? And her sister must be 10 then. Or no. She is 9. She is 9. Her sister is 11. But going into the arena again, the crowd of men, women, and, well, mostly women around them cheers at them fighting. This gang is mostly women that is here. Some few men that is more evil and more into men. It's allowed in. No one else. No straight men, no anyone. Except for the few that the Kali family wants in there. And Kali herself, the little asshole she is sitting on her throne, looking at her and her sister in the arena. She wants them to fight. She wants them to fight each other, to wound each other, to see older sister and little sister fight. The last two they have for these 3 years? Yeah, it's probably 3. No, it's 2. It's 2 years. Until they start again. Izumi, or Tiona now, looks over at Kiri or Tioni. Both of them looked at each other, with fear in their eyes, and the gong that surround the arena to signal them to fight rang out. Both of them walked forward, but never threw a punch. Both of them stood near each other and just turned their backs to each other towards the crowd that was starting to looking at them in confusion. But then they understand they wouldn't fight each other. They're sisters, why would they? They wouldn't fight each other to the death. They fought, and they know how to fight. Even fought and one adult at one point. A woman that was frightening. Both of them did beat her. They're the strongest, more powerful than her. They know how to fight. But they also have an advantage with her sister's quirk. Her sister quirks is Rage Factor. Rage Factor is an ability she gains when she gets angrier and angrier towards someone or anything actually. So if she gets enraged, you better look out. And Izumi herself, unfortunately for her, unfortunately for Izumi, she is quirkless. She was diagnosed young as quirkless, but her Amazon genes can allow her to do inhumane feats. So she's not scared of any of the women or the few men in the crowd. But Kali seeing this was not happy of their choice. Get to fighting! She yells out down to the arena at the sisters. They didn't move towards each other. They stayed in the middle of the arena, back to back, looking at the crowd. I said, fight! Still didn't move. Not toward each other. looking at the crowd that was still staring, waiting. "Someone start them to fight!" She yells out to one of the women of the gang that jumps over the fence and land into the arena. She walks over to get them to fight, but that was towards Izumi, where she tried to, make them turn around, but Izumi punched her away. Her landing a little bit far away, but getting up again. Izumi didn't hit her hard. Of course, she wouldn't want to kill her. Izumi, in fact, and Kiri has not killed anyone. It was mostly the woman of the gang that killed the weaker that couldn't fight anymore. They were cruel, they were heartless. Callie looked at them in anger. "Get down there and kill them then!" Callie yelled out, and multiple women jumped into the arena to start fighting. Fighting the two girls standing in the middle, getting ready to fight, when above them, a crack of the roof bends in to a man falling down right in the middle of the two girls that had to walk away. Jumped a little away from the man that landed in the middle of the arena. The man standing up with blonde hair and two tufts on its head. This was All Might. And he was not even smiling. That was the scariest thing Izumi ever saw that day. Not Callie, not the women surrounding them, but the number one hero. Not even smiling. Not even talking. Only bending down and picking up the two girls from the ground and putting them on his shoulders. And only whispering to them, "Don't worry. We are here." In that matter, the women trying to go away, run away, because who the fuck wants to fight All Might? And All Might started to knock them out, trying to make sure they didn't run. Callie trying to escape, when a woman with cards come up behind her throne. Well, isn't this a surprise, Callie? God damn it, Loki. The number 12 hero, Loki herself, not the actual god, but her hero name is Loki, tricks of the card and a trickster herself. Loki is a formidable fighter, a red-haired woman that is wearing a jester outfit. Around her hands is cards galore. Packs of cards. It's time for your little operations and all the children you have captured to be released, Loki said, throwing the cards around the little girl, or the small woman that tried to run away, breaking through the wall, the cards. Loki running after her. But other groups come in, being a group of sidekicks and heroes under Loki herself. Finn Damney, the braver himself, a brave, man with dwarfism, but isn't much tinier than a, 8-year-old boy. No, 12-year-old boy height, but holding a massive spear. He took the name Braver because he wanted to be brave for people that couldn't stand up for themselves. To look at him, a person that people told him not he couldn't become a hero back in the day, now one of the top hero, well, in the top 50. He is the number 30 hero. Behind him, Riveria or the or not the Thousand Elf. The Nine Hells. Riveria Jotun Elf. A family of people that lived like many years. Riveria is almost 100 at this point. Almost 100. She's in her 90s and has lived a long life secluded until Loki recruited her. And she became a hero. Her quirk is not elf. She can't live long. That is just a family member that gave that down to to their family. Her actual quirk, 9 hells. 9 different magic spells she can use. And no one, only a few knows her full roster. The only 2 public spells are a fire spell she can conquer and a lightning cage she can conquer. Any villains that have fought her never told what she could do, but only told the news her hero name is the truth about her quirk. And at 15 is Gareth Landrock, or the Unbreakable Wall. A man around 5'6" of a height. A broad-shouldered man with strong build and a huge axe in his hands. This man has been a hero for a very long time with his old friend Finn Damnay. His quirk, the strongest man, is a strong quirk that can allow him to boost up his vitality, his skin muscles, and his strength, and his speed when he needs to. And multiple sidekicks of Loki has also come in, fighting off the women and men that tried to run from the arena, but was captured by her, not her familiar, her agency captured all the Kali gang, and even their leader, Kali herself, was captured. But unfortunately, only 2 survived. Only 2 kids survived that day. Unpredictably, they couldn't find it in time to save the others, but only 2. 2 girls, newscasters, was telling the people around the world, survived. We have not got any detail of who it is, but these 2 girls are very young, probably around 9 or 8 years old, and 10 and 11. Izumi was in the hospital after the fight. I know it's kind of anticlimactic of me, but it's just to give you the information. It will be important later in the series where you guys can, get some more information about that day where they got rescued. But right now, they're in a hospital, finding out they were kidnapped 3 years ago. So Mizumi was correct. It's been 3 years since their mother's death and their kidnapping into the arena. Both of them, having scars around their body from fights, was in a hospital gown. Both of them looking at the TV about the news that was reporting their rescue. Izumi didn't talk at much when she got rescued. Her sister did. Spoke for them. Izumi didn't learn as much when she was 6. She only remembered a few things, a few words like Izumi, but her last name she doesn't remember. Neither does her sister. Their mother didn't have a last name. She was an orphan, so they didn't either. Sorry. Her sister spoke for them. Izumi couldn't only know her own name, Izumi, and that was it. And some few words like yes, no, thank you, and some couple others like I have to go and I'm hungry. A few words she only spoke. She didn't learn much before she was thrown into a fighting arena. She knows more about combat and hand-to-hand now than words itself. She sat there in the bed, looking at the white wall and the weird smelling stuff in the hospital, when the door opened and the number 12 hero Loki stepped inside. Well, it's good to see the 2 girls still lives. A staff of crystal smacked the head of Loki. Ow! Okay. Jesus. Loki says when Riveria walked in. Now, before you talk a little jokes into it, remember, they're still young. Riveria walked in and sat between the beds of the 2 girls that looked at her. Hello, you 2. Do you remember who I am? Her sister, Kiria, says, I do. You're the green-haired woman that saved us. She nodded and talked. My name is Riveria Yoltsenel. Or you could call me the 9 Hells. We have decided to put you in the care of the Loki agency. We have some few children that has grown up in our care, and you 2 fit the descriptions we can take care of. She says, smiling at the 2 girls. We will be teaching you as much as you have missed. Words, numbers, and anything you need. Riveria says, with Loki smiling in the background. So you 2 girls can go back to a normal life. Loki says with a smile. Fight? Izumi says with Loki looking at her. We only know fight. Fight is the thing I remember. It's only fight, Izumi says with Kiri looking at her. Loki looked at her in sadness. There's more to life than just fighting. She walks over to the young girl and sat in a chair beside the bed. You know that, right? Fight. Fight. Only thing knows. She talked in a awkward manner, not knowing what to say more. But she's trying to say she only knows how to fight. She's only 9 and she's been doing this for 3 years. she was 6. She didn't know how to talk yet. A few words, probably more she knows before, but now she didn't talk much, so probably forgot some few words. Her sister says, and Izumi nodded. I see, Riveria said, standing up. You will be released in a few hours. Please, be well, you two. Both women walked out of the room with the two girls looking at each other in excitement. A new path in life. A few days later, both Izumi and Kiran, stood outside with Riveria and Loki outside of the Loki agency. Both of them were curious about this place and excited of their new lives. Come on, girls, I will show you around my home, Loki says, walking into the building, and with Izumi and Kiri walking in behind her and Riveria beside them, they looked around the spacious, building. The front lobby had a reception desk with few plants around, where people can go and sit down and wait for their turn to talk to anyone in the building. There was one door leading to an elevator up to the second floor, and there was another door into a storage room where they have a lot of supplies, just normal supplies like toilet paper, tissues, and all the other stuff that people need. They walked over to the receptionist that Loki told her to put on two new people that needs to stay here permanently, being Izumi Highroot Is it a Tiona and Tioni Highroot? Right? Anyways, the last names of Tioni and Tiona in Danmachi's canon, those are their last names in here, but with Izumi and Kiri in front. When the receptionist told Loki that they are in the system now, all four of them walked over to the elevator and going up to the, second floor first. Here, Loki say walking in and having, a canteen with some few round tables and some few tables where some few, board games. I can only see that in my mind right now, so I'm sorry. Some few tables and some couches and living room tables are surrounded in some places with some TVs on the some walls. This is kind of the living room and the kitchen area. Here you can get lunch and just hang out or do your paperwork here as well. Loki is playing all of the things that's in the, cafeteria living room area. There were some few board games if people got, bored. Loki is the god of trickster, so Probably she just put that up to confuse people. But her familia kind of likes it and she just kept it in. There were some few areas where some a TV was that has a box. It's a box that is in the back where a wall has been set up in 2 rooms where people can just put on a show and not be heard from others that was watching something. After they were showed the cafeteria off, they went up to the 3rd floor. And this is the training area. Loki showed around a normal gym and a fighting arena and a quirk test about, reaction speeds and everything else. There was also there was also a fighting arena, if I didn't say that, where people can go and spar each other. It was a little bit more, this was a bigger, more, floor than others. So it's like almost 2 floors in one. So when I say they go from the 1st floor to the cafeteria that's on the 2nd, the 3rd floor is the 4th and 3rd floor combined into 1 floor, where they have a sparring arena where they can go down and change into their hero costume and spar in the arena. So they don't have to, go to another floor to spar. So yeah, that has been changed up. Then the fourth floor, that is the 5th floor, is where the office are. Loki says, walking in to see a lot of people, going around and doing paperworks and all the other stuffs in the agency. By the way, there was also other people on the floors that greeted Loki and said hi to the kids. They actually met Raoul and a kitty on their lunch break. Yeah, they are also here. They would just be in the background. So yeah, Izumi and Kiri has gone from, seeing the office and where all the paperwork is, and the office where, Loki usually work and where Finn and Gareth and Riveria works when Finn and Gareth, greeted them. Then they arrive on the 5th floor, where they walk down a hallway. This is where some of our, sidekicks usually take a room if they need to stay over to do some more paperwork, or couldn't get home in time because of their trains leaving at the point they couldn't return home. So they can crash here for tonight, Loki says, opening one of the rooms of the small sleeping quarters where every single member could sleep. And then they go to the 6th floor. Here is the members that couldn't afford an apartment on themselves, so I offer them to, stay here. Of course, that means they have reduced pay, because I don't want to pay them to then pay me for rent and utility. So I'll just take that out of their, paycheck, and they have spending money on food and that stuff, Loki says. And walking down to a room and open it, this is where you two will stay. We have some few other children staying here. A girl named Ice and a girl named Lufia. They're staying in the room beside you.
pointing over to the other wall, the other side of the hallway, where she pointed to a room that had a nameplate called Lufia and Eyes on it. They're staying right over there, and Riveria will introduce you to them pretty soon because I have paperwork to do. Loki said, saying goodbye to the two girls and, rushing off. She is very interesting, Kiri says to Riveria. She very well is. Now, when you need to be learning, you will go to Eyes in Lufia's room. There's more stuff. There's more, books and learning materials in their room. Lufia and Eyes is actually at little Izumi's age here. Oh, so I'm gonna be the big sister of two more girls. Loki laughed and nodded at this. Yes, of course. Now, if you don't mind, I have also paperwork to do. You can go in and unpack the things you want to unpack that you have with you. But Riveria looked down and the girls only had clothes. Or just fold your clothes and put it in. Come down to me when you're done and I will call Lufia and Eyes into my office. Then you guys can introduce yourself. Both girls nodded and they walked in to their room and unpacked after 5 minutes. They returned to the office area and walked into Riveria's office. That was quite quick, but you didn't have much, so that's understandable. Riveria called someone, and around 2 minutes later, two girls walked in. A blonde-haired girl with, human features, but a neutral look in her face, where she is not smiling or doing anything much. The other girl has the same kind of features as Riveria, but instead of green hair she has orange hair down, a long orange hair down her back. Eyes, Lufia, this is Izumi and Kiri. Hi, Root. These will stay here like you two in our facilities for quite a while. Do you girls understand? The two girls nodded at this, and I should not have listened to that audio where I gaped. Fuck. Two girls introduced themselves to, Izumi and Kiri, where Izumi and Kiri introduced themselves as well. And for your information, Eyes here is a old sidekick's, daughter, but unluckily for Eyes, both her dad and mom died in a villain fight a few years ago, so we took her in. And little Lufia here is my nephew, or niece. Her mom didn't survive a deadly disease, so she died a year ago, so she has been here a year. Both Izumi and, Kiri understood. After that, both Tiona and Izumi and Kiri greeted Eyes and Lufia and told them, Kiri did, about their past. a watered down version of them being kidnapped, their mother is dead, and them being, well, captured for 3 years and then released by the Loki and All Might. This shocked Luffia and a little bit Ai's reaction about it. But after they were told, the girls started to, well, have more conversations, but not Luffia, I am so sorry. Izumi and I started to talk, well, more and more over the days that both of them stayed, well, they became good friends, almost as best friends. But that is not what happened. Well, in the future, but right now they're just good friends. A month later, after, well, Tioni and... fuck. Yeah, I can call them Tioni and Tiona, that's their second name. Or you can probably guess what I'm gonna do with those names. But... a month later, Izumi and Kiri was getting a visitor from a certain number one. And, well, them meeting him again and started to, well, bond with him, got a relationship out of it, being a uncle, a fun, strong, loving uncle they can talk to about their problems. You see, All Might seeing the two girls and feeling awful about not coming to the rescue of the other children, started to, well, come over to the Loki hero agency to greet the girls. So he has bonded with Tiona and Tioni, Izumi and Kiri. It's Izumi and Kiri. Sorry about that. All Might is, well, bonded with them to be their sort of Uncle Might. So he has actually 3 nieces, being Melissa, Izumi, and Kiri. And god damn it, he'd love being an uncle for all 3 of the girls. And a sort of uncle for Eyes and Luffia as well. Also hanging, well, when sometimes he is, well, visiting Izumi and Kiri, he sometimes also is, well, looking over Eyes and Luffia. So they are kind of a sort of uncle situation as well, but not totally. After, well, this, let's skip ahead because I don't want to be in this time for so long. We skip ahead like 3 years. That means that Tiona is, or Kiri is around 14. At this point in time, she's 14 years old. And yeah, and Izumi is around 12. You see, and this is now, I will just, fuck, I'm so sorry. We will not be focused on Izumi, we will be focused on Kiri's life. You see, after being rescued and going into the protection of the Loki, I can't say Loki Familia, but I have to say Loki Hero Agency. After going on, well, being protected by the Loki Agency, Kiri has gone to a normal school because she knows a little more than her sister. That has to be, well, that has to be, well, relearn all this stuff so she can go with school with Ice and Luffia. So she is right now back at the hero agency being taught by Finn. But at this, after, well, Kiri got into the school she has, well, gone to, she has been, well, been asked out a lot, but the only reason she hasn't have a date, and this is kind of important, not to the story, but okay, let me make this clear. Kiri, or Tiona, will not have a crush on Finn. I will make this clear. She only sees Finn as her uncle, as her actual uncle, not in blood, but in spirit. So she doesn't have a crush on her. It's weird to think about, but it make weirdly sense, and I will say this, weirdly sense she has a crush on Finn in danmachi canon, but when I'm putting her and Finn in the My Hero Academia verse, I can't see that relationship going over great. So, Finn and Tiona is just uncle and niece. Nothing more, nothing less. However, there's another blonde that comes into her life instead. And that special someone you probably already know. You see, Tiona has one rule, and so does Tiona has one rule about love, same as Tiona. The person has to beat them. And Tiona is more into boys than girls, so she will only choose, well, to fight a boy, then the girl she just rejects, telling her she doesn't like girls. So when that happens, it was actually on accident this happened. You see, it almost is time for the, well, entrance exam. Well, no, the entrance exam has passed, so it'll probably be around 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. I actually see this more. It's not 3 years, it's 4 years. Tiona is already in UA and in her class, that being class 1A or B? I think it is A. So she's in class 1A, and after introduction, after the whole, well, class is over and days go by, they get to a training point in their, well, studies, where they have to fight each other. It's not at the sports festival, I will make that clear. It's only been a week. And the sports festival is like it's like 6 weeks away from the beginning of UA, I think. I mean, they have the regular week that mostly, I think at the end, the break-in happened in the original canon. Then a week passed, then the USJ, or a few days passed for the USJ, meaning it's another week. Then they got a few days off, meaning 2 weeks have passed by until the entrance. And then 2 weeks more. 2 weeks has to pass for the entrance. So it's a month. I think a month after the start of UA, the sports festivals happen. But it's only been a week since school started. So this is not in the sports festival. It's just a one-on-one sparring and getting sparring partner Kiri gets paired up with a young boy named Mirio Tagada. He is kind of on the bottom of the list of students right now, but he did get some few scores and some review rescue in the entrance exam. Kiri also went into the normal entrance exam, not the recommended one. So Mirio and Tiona, or Kiri, started to spar that day, but it kind of got out of hand before any of the teachers could stop it, and it kind of became a real fight between them. Mirio trying to learn more about his quirk and, Kiri trying to beat him until she got punched into a wall, stopping the match. And that is where, this scene happened. Kiri got flung into a wall at the gym at the UA a week after the entrance exam, and after the first week of UA, she looks over at the boy that's just flung her into the wall and made her stop for a moment, making the fight going to the boy named Mirio. Mirio rushed over to check out if Kiri was okay when she, grabbed him by the UA gym uniform he put on because he only used the upper body portion to use his quirk, but his shirt slipped off. So, yeah. When Mirio tried to help her, she got up and slammed him into the wall, having both arms beside his head, scaring him and the others. You beat me. Yes? You beat me fair and square. I'm sorry if I ruined a record. Only one record. Kiri says, looking up at Mirio, then notices that... Why do you look happy about this? You broke the record of how many boys I had to reject. Kiri says, grabbing Mirio's collar and pulling him closer to her face. What? Nejire, one of Mirio's newest friends, realized what is going on. Mirio? Yeah? You know she's an Amazon, right? Yes? You know, if you beat her in a fight, a fair fight, she will fall in love with you? Nejire says, and Amachiki beside her nodded at this. Mirio looking over. Oh, I didn't know that. You were sick that day, Tamaki says from behind Nejire. Oh. Mirio getting nervous about, Kiri's intention. She just said, I want a proper date. Oh. Okay. And yeah, after, well, that incident, I know I'm putting a lot of information in this video, but I just want to get to, this is the prologue, it's not the beginning of the anime here. So I just want to make that clear. It's not the beginning of the anime yet. We're not getting there yet. Until this last scene happened. After, well, the incident as Mirio calls it as a joke, but is a lucky, happy accident for both of them, Mirio did take, well, Kiri on a date, and they started to date after, well, 2 dates. And they quite like each other and their energies. Both of them are excited and can be very happy. But he can also calm, well, Kiri's anger quirk down. Most of the time, but if it's against him, oh boy, he has to fight for it to calm her down. But after the sports festival of Kiri's first year, 2 weeks has passed and they have gone to the internship and come back. Well, except for Kiri that goes into an internship with the Loki Familia. The Loki Hero Agency. There it is. Sorry, I went quiet for a moment. She went with them, she learns a lot about it, but after that, a certain member of the Loki agency had to, well, come by with someone that he has, well, had to take with him. This being a 13-year-old white-haired boy. You see, this man, his name is Sard. I will just use the last name I gave him, Romeo. He is a former member of the Zeus agency, and right now is looking after his nephew after his, well, I would say his girlfriend at this point in time, they're not married. His girlfriend, not Mitsuria, Alfia, had to take a mission abroad, with her hero agency being the Astria agency, had to take a mission abroad. So he has to look after his nephew for a few days. You're probably wondering what happened to the Susanhara agencies? If this is original canon? This is the canon, not the original canon? Well, I will explain that in next episode. So, Sard had to introduce his nephew, Belcranel, to his, well, agency. And introduce Belle to the 4 young women that he will be that he will be with for a few days. Tiona, or Izumi, being nearby eyes and making sure that she's not leaving her hug. They explain that next episode. Looked at the young white-haired boy and said, "Is it just me, or is he a rabbit?" "Rabbit boy," I says, and the 2 other girls looked at them in confusion. "It looks like a white-haired boy, not a rabbit." Kiri says, I want to fight him." "You mean spar?" Kiri says to his sister. "Yeah, that. I want to do that." You have to go ask Mr. Sword about that. Kiri says, and Izumi jumps off of the couch and rushed over to Sword, asking one simple question. Can I spar with the rabbit boy? And that is where I'm gonna end this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, my blue masks. The next week vote is up. Please go vote it. Bye-bye!